My wife likes to watch me struggle as much as you guys, so she bought me this GameCube online. I have no idea how to repair one. I figured today we'd learn how. Let's go ahead and test it and see what we learn. I think orange light is correct. It boots, it says system settings were lost. That just... I feel like that's supposed to be propped up, and it isn't. No, man. There's little bug bits in here too. It does not read a game. All right, since it doesn't read a game, we have to figure that out. Figure out why this doesn't just open. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some bugs today. We can see this kind of dust that was on the Wii. I learned that is related to bugs. Take a look, the ports don't look great. Yeah. We got little bug bits down here. This looks even worse than the Wii did, man. Oh, this one's rough. That's an odor, baby. Man, we're not gonna do a bug counter today. This is bad. Owie! You can see we've got, man, it doesn't even do it justice on camera. But all down here, we've got bug bits and droppings. Back here, there's a ton. Over here, it's everywhere. It's actually just everywhere. Does this now pull out? It does. Oh man, this is making my eyes itch. I'm gonna have to apologize to the ozone layer because I'm gonna go through so many gloves today. That screw is mega stripped. What? Look at what they did to my boy. God. Not good. The whole thing just reeks of bug protein. So first I'll show you, this is what the back of the drive assembly looks like. This is actually probably the cleanest thing. I mean, that motor has seen better days. In fact, all the way around the motor has seen better days. That might be why we're not reading a disc. This might be just gone. And then, yeah. Over here, bug included. It's a chance some of these capacitors might have gone bad. This is why we have to do a full disassembly. If I didn't do a full disassembly, I wouldn't have seen this. And that is the worst part I've come across so far, right? Let's, oh, they're stuck in there. That's cute. Well, some spider was eating good. So what's really amusing about this, my wife learned that bug-infested consoles exist, and she was freaked out by that. I explained to her like the process that I follow just to make sure they're dead. All consoles I get, they sit in the garage for a while just to make sure that whatever is in them is properly dead.
Ew.
Yeah, so all those rust droppings.
Oh, I didn't even see this. Ew.
Yeah. I'm really worried to see what's going on down there because it looks like that's how they came in. The further down I'm going, the worse it's getting. Oh, you want a bug counter? Nah, Chief. There's way too many for that today.
Ew.
Yeah, we are way past a bug counter. You know, not that bad. Anyways, so what's hilarious about this is my wife learns that bug-infested consoles can exist. The same day, she surprises me. This GameCube arrives from eBay. And I didn't know that this was a GameCube for me. So I get a package that comes in, and it's got her name on it, so I bring it into the house. She then tells me that I can open it, and it's this bad boy. The odds that she's the one that brings this thing into the house, hilarious. There's our motherboard, all of its glory. I'm not gonna be able to get you guys good frames of inside the ports, but okay. Now, the last time that I worked on a bug-infested console, you guys in the comments told me that I had to wash everything off in the sink if I actually wanted to get rid of the smell. You didn't like my tote bath that I did. So I'm gonna actually take this over to the sink and wash off most of it. And there's not a way for me to get you guys a good angle while I do that. There we have it. Alright, so I just finished doing a first pass on the cleaning, trying to remove as much debris as I can. Now I'm gonna go back to separating out components with my not components. I think the switch is still fine. I mean, it's powering on okay. I believe this is the power button. So we'll give it a good clean regardless, but I think it functions fine. What is this? That leg right there, this thing, that's loose. Whatever this is not even remotely connected. I'll have to find out what that is in a minute. Wow. Yeah, I'm thinking the motor just might be dead. The cleanest component on this whole thing. What wasn't working? It was that. What is that supposed to trigger? That releases it so this can now move. I must be missing a spring. This has obviously been opened before. Now we're ready to clean all the boards up as much as I can. Due to budget cuts, I'll be wearing blue gloves for this scene. But I'm just gonna take a dry toothbrush to start with and brush this guy out. I'm gonna do that on all of them and let the guts go free. And then we'll come through and clean with chemicals afterwards. Now, I don't know what this thing is, but it's very clearly not correct. I have a donor console. I'm debating just swapping this entire board. Now, I think these motors are toast. I don't think I'm gonna be able to save these at all. Let's not get our hopes up there. God, I mean, just look at the layer. There we go. Oh, I just blew a bunch of it away. Oh, man. Oh, it's getting everywhere. That's a terrible approach. Don't do that. All right, now that we've gone through and done our chunk removal, let's do our first of many passes of cleaning. We're gonna need a bunch of isopropyl alcohol for this. It felt better to do this part as a time lapse, so that's what we're doing. To start, I just took the toothbrush with isopropyl alcohol, and again, just tried to get as much of the debris off as I can. Then I went around with these fancy new, like, spiraled cotton swabs. They don't shed as much, so they were able to get in the grooves of the PCB a whole lot better. But I went around with those and just tried to do as much as I can. Honestly, there's still gunk on all these boards, which really sucks, but I couldn't get in there well enough. So I think we're going to get an ultrasonic cleaner and revisit this in the future. In the meantime, this is as clean as we were able to get it. I learned while working on that Wii last week that my computer will crash if I upload 6 hours of 4K footage. So I'm going to stop filming for now, and I'll bring you guys back if there's anything interesting. Finished cleaning everything off to the best of my ability. Well, really the best of my wife's ability. I didn't do anything. Don't let me take any credit. She used like 9 different chemicals to try to clean this stuff up. She tried baking soda, she tried bartender's helper, bartender's keeper, friend. I don't know what it's called. But she tried some of that stuff. She tried mineral oil. She tried soap. She tried a little bit of everything. So this is what we're left with. Let's see what we can do. You guys in the comment section told me that mineral oil was the way to go. Specifically mineral oil and like a white Brillo pad is what I was told to use, or white Scotch-Brite pad. And I can confirm that did nothing. So let's try the pad. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. It looks the same. Here's my theory. Here's a ball of steel. I think this is the way.
I learned after the fact that you really shouldn't use this. It's bad for the metal and will likely cause more rust later. So don't do this.
I say maybe.
I just went through from here, hitting each piece of metal with that steel ball and the white pad and whatever else seemed reasonable, using mineral oil the whole way. I was able to get things removed quite a bit better, but honestly, these metal pieces are probably just junk since the steel ball touched them, and there's still quite a bit of damage on them as well.
So I'm working on reassembling this now, and there's not much to show you. I mean, I guess I could show off like how this looks now, which it's better. The heatsink is probably the worst part on the console. Everything else for the most part cleaned right up. So now, unlike the Wii, this guy still has a little bit of smell, and we've cleaned this for a day and a half now, and it's just not going anywhere. It's nowhere near as strong, but there is still smell here. And I don't really like to, offer dating advice or anything, but the next time that you see him, you think you can fix him, maybe you should rethink that. Because on the surface, he might look like he just has a bad disk drive, but on the inside, he's filled with bugs. So I brought you guys back because I am taking a look at this. Now, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what this was. I've never seen a component that looked like this. So I went ahead and I grabbed the donor console and figured out that this is actually this, which is a switch that detects something. I think this detects if the lid is closed. Maybe this is a spring to push it up, but it's not strong enough, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure it's a switch to detect if the lid is closed. And that could be why it's not reading a game, because it doesn't know that the lid is closed. I'm gonna get this guy cleaned up and installed in the new console. Just about done reassembling the GameCube now, and realized that I made an uh-oh and disconnected these wires from this. So I just need to solder the wires back on to this gearbox thing. Here's the deal. I actually think this might be broken, because when I've worked on disk drives previously, I've never worked on a GameCube disk drive, but when I've worked on others, this does not move freely. And I can confirm the gear that's attached to this is moving. Typically there's resistance that comes from this. So I'm assuming this has gone bad, and that's part of my issue, but I want to test it with all the original components. This was a little bit harder to clean up compared to everything else, so, which I'll just kind of showcase. I know I haven't been filming this bit because I don't want to crash my computer again, but like I am using all the original components so far except for this little switch, which I didn't test, so it could be bad as well. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and solder these wires back on. This guy goes to this terminal, this guy goes to this terminal. I'm gonna try to use my wire strippers, but this wire is too small. Now, I don't know if this will just burn off with a soldering iron. So instead, I'm gonna take these. Yeah, I think it's too small for me to go that route. The other thing I can try, sometimes you can just take a razor blade and get in there that way. Okay, that cut the entire wire off. And I don't have a lot of that wire, so we're not gonna try to cut it anymore, because I really don't wanna have to solder on brand new wires. I'm just gonna melt this with the soldering iron and pray for forgiveness for the fumes that I'm gonna create.
This went very poorly for me. First I flexed up these bits, then came in and tried to melt off the enamel on the wire. It's not that kind. All I did was char it, which, for the record, number one, means that I didn't get enough of the wire exposed. Number two meant that any of the wire that was exposed probably was going to have too much carbon buildup and wouldn't give me a reliable connection anyways. So this approach, at least for me with this wire, wasn't correct. Somebody with more experience or somebody with different wire probably would have had a more desirable outcome.
I think it'll be fine. If not, I'll pay for my crimes later. So while reassembling this, I realized that I was missing a spring that pushes this gear right here. So on this bad boy, there's supposed to be a spring that looks a little bit like this. This particular one came from a donor that, number one, came to me with half the components missing. Number two, was absolutely filled with liquid damage. So we're gonna go ahead and give him a nice little vinegar bath real quick. So if I've assembled this correctly, when I push this button, cool. I don't feel like I'm supposed to have the lips that I have right now. Me, when the plastic surgeon gave me somebody else's lips. At least I fixed that. If nothing else. I'm not optimistic, guys. So I don't know how to trick it into thinking it's closed so I can see what's happening. So we're just gonna put Batman in. I don't think it's the memory card, but just in case, I'm gonna put one in there. It's still not reading that a game's in there. It does not recognize a game. I think if I open it and then push on that switch, I can kind of get a sense of what's going on. All right, the laser moves. I'm gonna hold this back, press that. Laser pumps, but it's not moving up and down. It still says no disk. When we power this on, this laser never moves, no matter what I do. It bobs up and down, but it doesn't move out. If I insert a disk, it's the same case. You'll never see it come out. So I think our sled motor's bad. The other thing that seems weird to me is that it's not trying to spin the disk. Now, I haven't worked on GameCubes before, so I don't know if that's normal. My thinking is that there's a fuse somewhere on the board that's gone bad. Because it just doesn't seem right to me that neither of those things would function.
Those are good. Good.
All of those are still soldered fine.
So now let's check these legs. Those are fine. Those are fine.
So in this situation, should I just assume it's the sled motor? I wasn't super confident in this solder job anyways, so we want to hear a beep. So I have no continuity on this pin. Checks out. I believe that. So now I have plenty of wire exposed.
It's not my prettiest soldering job.
No disc. Take the disc out. Oh, that's interesting. Now it moves. So if I push it all the way out, it doesn't think the lid is closed, the laser stays put. So the sled motor is now functioning, and it still is not picking up a disc. Still no disc. I'm thinking I just replace this. Yeah, I think we replace. Well, here's another one. Nah. Same deal. I watched some other folks repair these, and when they had the same issue, they were able to adjust the potentiometer and get a result. It seems bad to me, but I guess it could make sense. Let's go ahead and test it. So first, let's see what our current resistance is. That looks right to me. I actually don't think it needs to be any lower, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna aim for like 170. I have done something terribly wrong. Is it counterclockwise? Oh no. Oh wow. I was told this thing is very sensitive. I believe it. All right, I'm gonna try it there. I'm not optimistic that that's gonna do anything for me. I don't think it's my issue, but I saw it work for so many other people, I thought I would try it here too. What I'm confused by is just the fact that the disc doesn't spin at all. That seems really strange. Okay. So I don't see the laser coming through the disc at all, and that was something I did see in other people's videos. Still no disc? Still no disc. I think our laser is dead, or I have a capacitor issue on the board. Not being able to see the laser through the disc when I saw it so clearly on everybody else's, that doesn't resonate with me. So I'm just gonna keep adjusting that a little bit at a time, but that laser is probably on his way out. All the way down to 125. That's too low. I think, simply put, this is just dead. Same outcome, he just stops moving. I have a known working console. I picked this up from one of my local game stores. I can go ahead and actually test part of the optical drive and see if I can diagnose what's wrong with our current one. So if I take this working one, I give him some power. That's a good thing to do. And then I turn it on. What I want to see is if I see the laser go through there. There we go. So I can see the laser shining through. So I want to isolate what I can. And since I'm so confident the laser is the issue, I think what I'll do is use the same motor that's already in here and just slap the laser assembly on this board. Bad board, drop him right in. These are easy to tell apart because this guy has the old grease and the other one smells like bug. And oh, this is interesting. I swear my neighbors know when I'm filming and that's when they decide to do all their outside chores. I am just gonna swap the drive, but I'll revisit this again, maybe with an ultrasonic cleaner. And then once the board's clean and we can actually, because I tried to test for shorts around the board, but I mean, when your contacts look like this, it's not gonna be any good. So I'm gonna swap the optical drive with this known working one, and that'll be the repair for today. I will revisit this. If you guys want to see me revisit this, let me know down in the comment section below. That's really surprising. I'm pretty sure it's a capacitor issue, but I don't have the ability to test everything without that being cleaner, and I don't have the ability to get it cleaner. Yep. So it's just something with that other optical drive. There we go. Good as new. Don't worry about that liquid damage you saw. My TV has turned off. My TV is back on. Put a disc in, and we get Batman Vengeance. Let's go. But look, if you guys have enjoyed the content and you've watched this far, you clearly enjoyed it. Or you're watching it out of spite to see how badly I can do this. Either way, if you're still watching, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. And if you liked this video, you'll probably like this other video down in the corner where I repaired a Wii that also was filled with bugs. I will see you guys in the next video.